Today I will be sharing a build for the wizard that is going to be extremely toxic versus melee classes in PvP. We all know that the melee classes is quite hot right now and we need something that can shut them down. So the build that we will be using is going to allow you to completely shut them down. Something like this. They will not able to use skills and they will not able to use the primary either. Let me demonstrate it again. My health is somewhat really weak, but you will notice once I have this thing on me, I cannot use skill or use primary, and you can basically throw this thing on the idol, and the players standing in the idol will not able to either see the players around them. You can see here I cannot even see anyone out there. Everything is dark. I cannot use dash skills, and on the top of that I can even freeze them inside and they stuck right there. I will show you guys real quick gameplay. Right now I'm inside of training battleground. This is how the build works. You throw this, blind them, follow up with the freeze, and they don't even know what is hitting them, and they cannot even use the skills or dash away unless they have a complete CC immunity. This is going to be the most toxic build that you can use versus melee class, especially when it comes to putting this on idle and following up with the CC and freeze and dot setup. It will annoy the heck out of melee classes in battleground. Now let's dive into set pieces, essences, and the reforge, and a couple of other things that we are using for this build. Starting with the skill setup, we are using Magic Missile, Arcane Wind, Teleport, the Slow Time, Frost Field. Now you can go use whatever you like best as a primary. I prefer Magic Missile, but you can go use the Electrocute, use whichever you prefer best for PvP. For the Paragon, I am using the Slayer because I am quite heavily invested on damage over time gems, and this is what gives me the best result. But you can go use Brawler or you can go use Gladiator, whichever you like and prefer best for PvP. Doesn't change all that much. And then for the Warband Bonus, as always, it is going to be the Protector. You can go select Protector with 5% block chance and make sure your Warband has the Shepherd Burden Remnant that increase your life and size by 15%. It will give you a bit more survivability, and having more size mean your character will able to move a bit quicker in Diablo Immortal. Next, let's dive into some of the important reforges here that we are using. This is how my reforge is built up. Beneficial duration, damage taken while suffering loss of control decrease, damage taken from player decrease, and then critical hit damage and all skill damage. Now you can go use something else as well, but this is something that I prefer to use nowadays since I have the Jolt set bonus working, the family bonus working. I believe so. Every 12 seconds it has a 14% chance to trigger and immobilize players when they attack me. Super good. And then I would advise you guys to stack up beneficial duration as much as you can, since our frost field is gonna be super hungry for that beneficial duration. The more beneficial duration you will have, you can basically keep 100% uptime for that. So whatever you hit the enemies with, they will have a chance that they will get frozen. All right, now let's dive into the set pieces quickly. I'm using 4-piece Grace of the Fledgment. The reason for that is because I have a lot of damage over time gems like the Seeping Bile, then Viper Bite, then I don't use Gloom, I use the Everlasting just to add some more damage over time. Last time someone was asking me why this gem isn't a rank 10, because I'm a bit lazy, and the purpose of this gem is only to add damage over time and fuel Grace of the Fledgment for beast, and that is where the damage comes. So it doesn't really matter all that much, at least for me right now. Maybe in future I will be ranking it up to rank 10, but for now rank 5 is more than enough. And then I am using a wolf that also helped me get a bit additional hit and free the grace of the flesh into 4 pieces. Then I'm using 2 pieces of Virtus Arches to extend beneficial duration. Again, super important, at least for me in PvP. And last 2 pieces is Feasting Baron to extend the duration of some harmful effects like poison, bleeding, and CC. Freeze duration will also be extended. When you freeze the players, the duration will be extended by 30%. But if someone has more resistance compared to your potency, then their CC, the CC on them will be reduced. But since my potency is quite high, my duration is pretty decent. Now for the essences, this is what we are using: the loom. The loom is for the slow time. Slow time now generate a darkened RAM, disabling the use of skills and basic attacks and greatly reducing the vision of any enemies inside the RAM. And this is what going to make it extremely annoying to deal with for the melee players, since they have to stand on the idol and push it, and once you drop that on the idol and follow up with the CC immunity, they won't even know who is hitting them, and unable to use dashes or the skill or the primary, and it will be super helpful for your team as well, as they will be disabled. And then our second the SN is for the chest, and this is for Force Field. Force Field now grant you creeping chill, causing your attack to chill enemies and freeze them on critical hit. So this is our first source for freezing the enemies. Then we are using a shoulder for the teleport. It gives us a shield and block 1 total loss of control effect, but this doesn't work versus knockback and pulls and knock up, but it does work versus other total loss of control, and pretty good. And then we are using the legs for Arcane Wind, increasing the damage of Arcane Wind and reducing its cooldown from the Awaken. Then main hand is the Subloom. This is how we gather players with the Arcane Wind, and this is mainly going to be there for supporting the team and freezing them as well. Then our next main hand is Lost Second for the slow time, reducing the slow time cooldown so we can keep on disabling the enemies with the loom. And then we are using Elder Quester here. If we hit the enemies who will be chilled, then it will freeze them with the Arcane Wind, our second source of the freeze. So the board can actually trigger back to back. Sometimes you will see players are getting frozen from the chest, sometimes they will be getting frozen from the offhand. And then our last offhand is Withering Eye to reduce the movement speed of players when we hit them with the Arcane Wind. And so that is the build, which is going to be really heavily focused on the support and disabling the melee classes out there, and very similar to the build that I run. And try it out. I have been seeing this build used in PvP, and melee classes doesn't enjoy it when you disable them like that and freeze them, and you can get away with the teleport. I'm signing off. See you all in the next one. You guys have a great day. Later.